What is going on, everyone around the world, all over the world? This is Sonic Mix, and I'm here to give not just one, but two reviews today for NXT and the Cruiserweight Classic for August 24th, 2016. NXT only had a couple matches. They were basically recapping from NXT Brooklyn, and there were three really good matches on the Cruiserweight Classic. Let's kick things off with NXT. This is going to be a really short one. We had two matches on the card. We had Wesley Drake versus the returning Ty Dillinger, who mysteriously disappeared for a couple months after the last takeover, which I think was back in, what was that, June? If that sounds about right, I think it was like around June. This was a fun match. The crowd was really into it. They were so happy to see Ty Dillinger back after a long absence. The match was fine, nothing too special. Once again, this was basically Ty Dillinger's moment and the crowd getting behind him. 2.75 out of 5 I would give the match. And then basically everything else after that was basically video packaging, highlights of NXT Brooklyn. There were a few promo backstages with Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, and Bayley, which I thought they were all pretty good. And then in the main event, we had TM61 against the Authors of Pain, the Silent Authors of Pain, which we still have no idea who they are about. I thought the match was good. It was very good. And the Authors of Pain pick up the win. They are still built as a very strong, dominant team. Kind of makes you wonder how they're going to actually lose. And I wish we could actually get some background to who the Authors of Pain are, but we haven't gotten that yet. And TM61 picks up another loss, which I'm kind of starting to wonder, because with the Revival winning, who's the Revival going to face? I don't see them facing the Authors of Pain and doing heel versus heel, which would be interesting, but I don't think WWE's not going to do that, but we'll see what happens down the road. I give it a 3 out of 5. I'm actually not going to give this a score because there really is no reason to give NXT a score because, once again, it was basically about the highlights of NXT Brooklyn. So, interesting, but NXT was more of a skip, I guess you could say. Not in a bad way, but like I said, they were just showing highlights for the most part. So, I would say NXT is a skip. But they did mention for next week that Shinsuke Nakamura will be appearing next week for NXT, so that should be pretty exciting. Now let's move onward to the Cruiserweight Classic. This was the quarterfinals? Yeah, these are the quarterfinals. And we had three matches today. All three matches really outstanding, really good. Kicking things off, we had Witch Swan versus Dorando. Lenis Delando. I probably pronounced that so wrong, but please excuse me for that. Great match here that these guys had. Love some of the spots. Love the wrestling in this. I love the double scissors kick to each other, which I thought that was good. The Frankensteiner from Dorando. And then the Phoenix Splash, which finally we get to see a Phoenix Splash, not from Seth Rollins, of all people, from Rich Swann. And actually, Rich Swann seemed like he landed right on his head, and it looks like he, Dorando took that pretty rough, it seemed. But he seemed to be all right after the end of the match. Very shocked that Swann won. I was not expecting that. But other than that, great match. I give it a 4 out of 5. Up next, we had Zack Sabre Jr. versus Drew Gulak. Very physical match. Very good wrestling. Love the escape attempts from Zack Sabre Jr. And then there was the gory special into... what was it into? Oh, yeah, into a half Boston Crab from Drew Gulak, which I thought was outstanding. And I love the finish where Zack Sabre Jr. basically pinned Drew with the bridge and then the arms pinned down with his hands. Love the finish with that. Very good stuff from this match. I give it about a solid 4. Another 4 out of 5 here. And then finally, TJ Perkins versus Johnny Gargano. Outstanding match here. Very good wrestling. Had some good counters. And the one spot where Gargano did a flip on the outside and one of his legs, or both of his legs, hit the ring bell, which looked a little devastating. I don't know if that was a freeze there. I'm sorry if the video kind of froze there. I don't know if that was on my end or if it went on along fine. But in the end, surprisingly, TJ Perkins puts a submission lock on Gargano. Gargano taps out, which basically stunned the crowd at the Full Sail Arena. I was shocked because I thought Gargano was going to face Kota Ibushi final, but that does not seem to be the case here. And TJ Perkins picks up the win. So I'm guessing it's going to be Perkins against Kota Ibushi in the semifinal, which should be pretty good nonetheless. I thought this was actually the match of the night. I give it a 4. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. I thought it was really outstanding, really good wrestling, and overall another great, excellent show from the Cruiserweights Classic. And with that being said, these were my reviews of NXT Brooklyn and the Cruiserweight Classic. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave your opinions and likes in the comment section below. Twitter.com/SonicMix1991. Link will be in the description as always. And until then, everybody, you guys have a good night, and I will see you later.